Sims Nation, welcome to another edition of the Positively Pat Sims Show. I am your host, Positively Pat Sims, and I am very excited to be here this morning with you because this is the WWE Night of Champions 2026 preview show, and we are going to have a lot of fun here today. We've got some very special guests with us to help give you the best predictions possible. So if you're out there, betting on the show, which let's be real, we know you are. Our panel here is going to help you make the right decisions. And of course, let's start off with the last person you should be listening to. I'm going to give I'm going to give you the man who tied me. No, I beat you by one. For WrestleMania, for worst prediction record, and that is the one and only, the man who defies all odds, the one and only Seth Sims. Good morning, Seth.
Good morning. And
you're off again. Why does this keep happening?
Well, I think you just bumped me because as soon as you grabbed your headphones, all the audio, I could hear the music, but it was glitchy, and then I couldn't hear anything else, and I still can't hear.
We might have to switch you to a different channel.
I think so, because I can't hear anything. I actually can't even hear anybody else now.
Well, you're fine.
Yay! There we go.
I'm talking about your microphone.
Oh, my microphone?
Yeah, we might have to switch your microphone thing because that mic's fine. It's just every time we put you in slot 2, we lose you occasionally. All right.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's kind of weird.
All right, let's keep moving through our cast of characters here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, my next guest is one of my former DDPY Fast Track coaching clients. He is a bundle of energy. He is a man with a lot of chutzpah, as they say. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only Chris Hall. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Night of Champions, King of the Ring 2026. Happy to be here.
Good to have you here, sir.
Gotta summon the inner macho man.
That's right. That's always a good way to go. All right. And next up on our list, we have a DDPY warrior. If you have been doing DDPY for more than a day, you know who this guy is. He is everywhere, and he is the man that brings it live. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only George Fenmore.
We are live, everybody. Who's excited for some King of the Ring talk? Let's do this.
I'm excited. Seth, are you excited?
Yeah.
There you go. See, that's all it takes right there.
I know, right?
All it takes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, finally, we bring to you the prognosticator of prognosticator. I can't talk. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Puxatawny Phil of our show. He is the man with the power, too sweet to be sour. He knows his stuff. He is nearly undefeated here. I mean, I don't think anybody on the show has ever defeated him, but
me, of course.
I have.
Oh, have you? I thought you tied him last time.
And I beat him in the Mania before that.
Oh, you see, you got to go back 2 Manias to find the last time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the one and only Benny the Jet Scala. Say hello, Benny.
Hello, Benny. Well, good morning to all the beautiful people out there in Sims Nation. So I have 3 things to say. Number one, as always, I'm absolutely delighted to be on this great, great show. Number 2, I did not steal this shirt from George Jetson, contrary to popular belief. And number 3, if you are going to wager, bet with your head, not over it.
Nice. Well done. Seth, go ahead and say something for me.
Booga booga hee dee.
So it's still not working. Something's wrong. I even switched your thing. Try it again.
Booga booga hee dee.
All right, so we got to.
At least I can hear though.
Yeah, you can hear, but you can't participate.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get this to work. So sorry, guys, you're gonna have to bear with me a second because. Try again.
Oh, there we go. Wow.
We got him in there. So.
That was too close to the mic.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on Seth. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the problem is, because the mic cable you're using is legitimately the mic we use when I record the albums.
Yeah, which is strange.
So it always works. So this is kind of, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens,
For
guys.
some reason, that slot made me a lot louder than all the others.
Probably for you.
For me, at least, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Here we go. Let's get moving here. Let's get right into this. So our very first match we're going to cover, guys, is going to be Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. And so this is for the United States Championship. And it's a match that has a lot of fresh energy behind it. Trick Williams has made a huge impact since coming to SmackDown. And he captured the United States Championship from Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Now, since then, Trick has been focused on proving he's not just a flash in the pan, and he wants to build his legacy around that championship. Ricky Saints, on the other hand, has been fighting his way into this position. Saints and Carmelo Hayes had a heated rivalry over who deserved the next shot at the title. They split wins, and then in June 19th on SmackDown, Saints won the rubber match, but he did it controversially, cheating to get a 3 count and becoming the number 1 contender. Now, on last night's SmackDown, Trick Williams returned after getting married, and Ricky Saints made sure to send one final message before Night of Champions. Saints attacked Trick and Lil Yachty with cheap shots, giving himself the last bit of momentum heading into this championship match. So the question is simple. Does Ricky Saints turn that controversy and arrogance into championship gold? Or does Trick Williams shut him down and continue building his United States title reign? George, I want to start with you. You're on the screen. Take it away. What are your thoughts on this one and your prediction?
So this one, it's been a really pretty good storyline. It's a kind of a trifecta. The other person you're not mentioning in here is Carmelo Hayes, as he's that one that was fighting to be with against Ricky Saints. That's not done. Not by a long shot. I have a feeling that some way, shape, or form he's going to interfere in this match, and it's going to lead to a 3-way down the line, because those guys are all fighting each other, in and out. So, with that said, whip that trick. It's either going to be a no. I have 2 calls. Either Trick wins clean, or Trick wins because Carmelo helped him, or it's going to be a no contest, or because of outside interference.
All right. So, but your main vote here is for Trick.
Yeah, whip that trick.
All right. So George votes Trick. All right. I'm keeping track here. All right, Benny, give me your thoughts on this one. What do you see out of this matchup, and then what's your prediction for this one?
Yeah, I loved Ricky Starks in NWA. I think the guy's got star written all over him. But, I mean, as far as to answer your question, not yet. I think this is I agree with George. This is Trick all the way. Number one, he's a fairly newly minted champion. You don't take the belt off him in a couple of months. Number two, he's a newly minted babyface. I think you need to give him some time to to develop and maintain this title. I do also agree with George that there's definitely going to be a 3-way, probably as soon as SummerSlam, with Trick, Ricky, and Carmelo Hayes. But I see, because of what happened last night, I see a little shenanigans from Little Yachty enabling Trick to score the victory. Trick all the way.
We have our first Positively Pat Sim Show shenanigans. Look out, people. All right. Well, that's well said. Well said. All right. Chris Hall, give us your thoughts on this one. Where do you see it going? What kind of match do you think this is going to be, and what's your prediction?
My prediction is matches George and Benny's, but it actually goes even a little bit further and deeper into why. The title is going to keep on Trick. The storyline they're telling right now, it wouldn't make any sense to have him remove the title. He's too good of a champion right now, and he's too fresh. The babyface Trick, though, this is what I'm going to get into a little bit deeper of the story. And the fact that Carmelo Hayes is involved in this story is not a lot of people watch NXT and know that a few years ago, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes were not only tag team partners as a babyface in the NXT, but Carmelo Hayes' heel turn was him turning on Trick, his best friend in the NXT, and they had a heated, which was really good rivalry between Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes in NXT. This could be a reemergence of that rivalry from NXT of two friends who actually have had history together. I'm really excited to see what Carmelo Hayes might have to be involved in this storyline. So I do also think that Carmelo might interfere. We might get a three-way, but I do see Trick taking it.
Okay. All right. And for all of you joining us here on YouTube, thank you so much for doing so. By the way, jump on that live chat. We want to hear from you. We want to know what your predictions are. And just for fun here, before we go any further, I'm going to do this for every match. We're going to start a poll. All right? So all you got to do is pick the winner so that we know who the live chat is going with. All right? So just hold on a bit. And here we go. All right, so we have our first poll up in the live chat, so you guys can pick who do you think is going to take it tonight. And I'll add that to my list here of who's going to win, what our predictions are. All right, and Seth, It's your turn. What do you think about this one? Where is this one going? And who's walking away the new United States champion? Well, not new, because that would say
I was gonna say
the answer is Ricky.
That means it would have to be Ricky.
Right.
I'm kind of sticking with majority here. I'm going with Trick.
Okay.
Like I know he did some shenanigans just to get it in the first place. But I feel like even without the shenanigans, he probably still would have ended up with it at this point, at least. So I feel like even though Ricky has worked his way up to get to this point, I don't think he's there just yet anyways.
All right. Well said. That's much better than because.
Well, that is because. It's just
all right.
It's just a cool because.
So my thing about this one, I think that Trick Williams is just a great champion to have here. I think Trick is doing a great job holding that United States Championship. I think that he's building his brand. I think that it's very much helping both him and the championship get elevated. So for me, I think if we're going to take the title off of Trick, it's going to be more because Trick's ready to move past the U.S. Championship. I think Trick's ready to go to the next level, right? It's kind of like how the IC title used to be. You either took the IC title as far as you could, and then you dropped it because that was really as far as you were going to go, or it was to build somebody else to that next level, or the third option was like Warrior or guys like Bret Hart. You would drop the Intercontinental title because you were on to the next stage, right? You were on to the World Heavyweight title, or at least given an opportunity to go after the World Heavyweight title. So that's why my vote is going to be obviously Trick Williams. And on this show, we're going to do things a little bit different than what we've normally done. And I have asked AI what their pick is for each match. And we're going to see if it matches with us, if it goes somewhere different. But AI says that it's picking Trick Williams to retain, and its reason why is that Ricky Saints has gotten under Trick's skin and made the rivalry personal. But Trick needs this win to solidify his title reign. Saints will lose here and still stay strong because of how controversial and sneaky his rise to number one contender has been. So AI is firmly in the Trick Williams camp. And before we close out the poll in the live chat, and then jump into our next segment. Let me just let you guys know, guys, remember, go to positivelypatsims.printful.me, and you can get yourself this awesome Positively Pat Sims hat. You can get the shirt that Chris Hall is wearing, the Positively Pat Sims shirt, but you can also check out these all-new items, including our MagSafe Tough Case for iPhone from the 14 through to the current 17 models. Our all-new Letterman jacket. Is that not awesome right there? Like, I want that thing so bad. We have the Positively Pat Sims Show mouse pad and tank tops. So make sure you head on over to positivelypatsims.printful.me and get all of your Positively Pat Sims merch, and you won't regret it. All right, guys, let's go to the live poll. It's pretty much a blowout. 100% of the vote has gone to Trick Williams. So
Who would have guessed?
the live chat has picked Trick. So it's Trick across the board. So there you go, guys. The odds have it. Everybody saying the same thing. Trick Williams is going to walk away with this one. All right, let's move on to our next matchup. And our next matchup is going to be Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. All right, this is a rematch that has been a long time in the making here. And this one's become, another one's become very personal, very physical. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill are two of the most athletic, powerful, and spotlight-ready women in WWE. Jade, of course, coming off of a great showing with Rhea Ripley. And they also have real history with each other. Tiffany successfully defended the WWE Women's Championship against Jade at SummerSlam last year. But Jade later ended Tiffany's 301-day title reign that November at Saturday night's main event. And now both women are in a different place. Tiffany is the Women's United States Champion, and Jade is trying to reestablish herself as a dominant singles force after losing the WWE Women's Championship to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 42. Now, guys, the tension picked up again on SmackDown. Jade pinned Tiffany in tag team action on June 5th, which helped put her in line for this championship opportunity. And then Tiffany cost Jade her Queen of the Ring first round match. Jade responded later that night by costing Tiffany a tag team match and leading a 3-on-1 beatdown with Mission and B-Fab. And last night on SmackDown, Jade sent the strongest message yet. She interfered in Tiffany and Alexa Bliss's tag match against Mission and B-Fab, helping cost Tiffany the match. Later, Jade defeated Chelsea Green, and after Tiffany tried to make the save, Jade laid her out with Jaded. So heading into Night of Champions, Jade Cargill is the one standing tall. Now the question for you guys, was that the preview of a new champion? Or did Jade just give Tiffany all the motivation that she needs to survive? So let's start this time with, we're going to start with Chris. Chris, what are your thoughts on this one, and what is your prediction? I can't hear you, Chris. You're muted, Chris.
Yeah, I have random sounds in my background, so I periodically mute myself. I'm sorry.
No worries.
No, this is going to be a hard one for me to predict because both contenders have equal stake, equal reason to win the United States Championship.
Right.
I would say for Jade, she was not very impressive to me in the beginning. I felt like WWE was trying to shove her down our throat and show us how impressive she is. And although she clearly looks like she has potential to be impressive, it hasn't been until recently, and definitely with the feud with Rhea Ripley, that Jade has been starting to show why they picked her and why they wanted her over in the WWE and what her future would be. I think they're building her properly now, like they should have to begin with, so that we can see what she could do before we like her instead of being forced to like her first.
Right.
And I think Tiffany, everything you said about Tiffany is accurate. They both are two of the most athletic women and strongest women on the roster. So I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. I think it's going to be an excellent match. It's hard to pick, so I'm just going to have to go with who I want to win, and that would be Tiffany.
All right.
But Jade could take it. I mean, this one could go either way.
All right. Well, Chris is going with Tiffy time. So, all right. Well, let's go on to Seth.
Yep.
Is your mic off again?
Is it? I mean, I kind of hear myself, I think.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So go for it.
It's just back to what I usually hear myself as. Okay. I mean, this one's kind of difficult because it's pretty much like they kind of set it up as who's winning the immovable object or the unstoppable force kind of match. That's what this feels like. So that's feeling weird. I think I'm gonna go with the unstoppable force, which would be Jade in this situation.
All right, Seth breaking from Chris's thing here. So you're going with Jade Cargill.
Yep.
All right. So that's 1 vote for Tiffany, 1 vote for Jade. If you guys are in the live chat, make sure you use the poll down below to give us your vote on who you think is going to win. And also, tell us why in the live chat. We want to hear from you guys. We got some of you guys are in here. We got enough people watching, so we want to hear from you. Barry Ether, welcome to the show. Great to have you on here. So we want to hear from you guys. All right, moving on to the next person here. George Fenmore, what is your prediction? What do you think is going to happen in this one?
So I kind of agree with what everybody else has said so far. It's really hard to pick here. But for me, I'm going to go with Jade winning. And the reason for that being is that she has that whole faction of women with BFAB and Mission. Mika. I hate that name, dude. I always call her Miriam. But anyway, with Mia and, they're going to, I have a feeling it's not going to be a clean win, right? Like, right. I think she's going to win. Because right now, if everyone knows, Jade was supposed to be in a feud with Rhea Ripley, but Rhea has that knee injury right now that is actually severe, and they're trying to not take the title off of her. So, and hoping that she's still going to be okay for the SummerSlam plan. So, everybody had to go left, right, twist, do what they got to do.
Right.
But for me, I'm gonna go with Jade for outside interference.
All right. So George is Jade. We got 2 votes for Jade, 1 for Tiffy time. Benny, are you going to break Jade's current streak? Tell me what you got.
I'm all right. So, and no offense to Tiffany Stratton, I believe that the U.S. title is kind of on life support, the U.S. women's title. I think it needs a boost, just like Becky Lynch helped elevate the IC title. And then she eventually passed the torch to Sol Ruca. I think the U.S. title really, and the fact that it's on this PLE, even though it's by accident, by injury, it's a good thing. I think they need to really elevate this. And I believe Jade, the last few months, has really elevated her star. And she is now what they thought she was going to be when they brought her in. I predict that Jade will win. I see the money match at SummerSlam being Jade and Charlotte for the U.S. title. Now, Tiffy is a Minnesotan. She's from Prior Lake, which I believe is north of the Twin Cities. I know that she's been feuding online with Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
So I see that being her SummerSlam match, but I see Jade all the way here.
All right. Benny also sticking with Jade. So I guess it comes down to, I'll read AI's pick, but did Positively Pat Sims side with everyone else or Chris? Ooh. And
Great question.
What does the poll think? We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about what AI said. When I asked AI who was going to win this matchup, it said that it's picking Jade Cargill to win. And the reasoning it gave is that Tiffany has been a strong champion, but Jade has the momentum, the backup, and the presentation of someone WWE is positioning for a major run. A title win here would make Jade feel dangerous again heading into SummerSlam. So that's AI's pick. However, do I agree with that pick? I may be in the minority here, but I'm going to say no, I do not. I do not think so. I think that this is a match where I think we're going to get the dreaded shenanigans. This is a matchup where I think I would prefer to see something happen that keeps Jade's momentum strong without taking the title off of Tiffany. And because then what you're doing is you're creating a storyline that Tiffany can't beat Jade. And I think a loss today is going to knock Tiffany down too many pegs. Right?
Yeah.
So what I would rather see is if something happens to where maybe Tiffany does lose, but it's because of so much outside interference or, but I think it's going to more so lend to, I want to see Tiffany take this one. And if not, at least retain the U.S. title. But I'm going to pick Tiffany because I'm crazy. I'm insane. I'm positively nutty. So that's where I'm going with this. And before we go to the poll to see what the live chat thinks, so guys watching on YouTube, make sure you get your vote in just a moment here. I want to let you guys know that George instructs people in DDPY, and I am also an instructor and DDPY fast track coach, and we want your transformation to start right now. So if you hire me for 3 months, I will help you with your weight loss, your strength, your flexibility, your accountability. You get real results, real accountability, real dedication, real confidence, real change for the long term. It's all about lifelong success. It's not about just being successful for 3 months. It's about setting you up for a lifetime of success. So head on over to ddpyoga.com and you can check out the fast track coaching section and you can hire good old Positively Pat Sims. All right. So before we move on to the next matchup, let's check in with the poll in the live chat. And another blowout here, but it was not a unanimous blowout. We had 83% of the vote went with Jade Cargill. So Jade taking this one, man. Jade at poor Tiffany, 17%. Ouch. All right, let me close out that poll. Woo. End poll. All right. So here's what we got. We got Tiffany versus Jade Cargill. Chris Hall and myself picked Tiffany Stratton. Everybody else went with Jade Cargill. So, Chris?
I think I'm on a roll right now.
Either Chris and I would do really well betting, or we're in trouble. We're in trouble
I'm waiting
already.
for the over-under.
Yeah. All right. So the next matchup for this event is going to be, and I tried to think like how maybe the actual event was going to go. So the next one we're going to talk about is IYO SKY versus Liv Morgan in the Queen of the Ring tournament final. And this match is huge because the winner does not just become Queen of the Ring. The winner also earns a women's championship opportunity at SummerSlam, meaning if Liv Morgan wins, we will get to see her on another PLE, which doesn't happen very often lately. And that means she would have to face Rhea Ripley, right? Doesn't that make, I mean, like, let's let me ask before we get into the whole details here. If Liv wins, isn't that exactly what that means?
Yes.
Yeah. And so so here's the deal. Everybody that voted Jade because they thought Jade was going after Rhea Ripley and it was going to be champion versus champion, that means you have to pick IYO here. But I know not everybody did. I know people had other thoughts on where Jade would go. But I know some people were saying Jade was going to win to keep her strong heading into another match with Rhea Ripley. But this match has huge implications for SummerSlam here. So, IYO SKY has had a strong tournament run. In the first round, she survived a fatal four-way against Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Lash Legend. Then she defeated Raquel Rodriguez in the semifinals. IYO is one of the most explosive and creative performers in the world, and winning Queen of the Ring would put her right back in the championship spotlight. Liv Morgan is already the women's world champion, but that has not stopped her from entering the tournament. Liv has made it clear that she wants everything. She defeated Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green in her first round fatal four-way. Then she advanced past Charlotte Flair in the semifinals after Charlotte had been attacked before the match by Jade, Cargill, Mission, and BFAB. So Liv comes into this with championship confidence, but also with the possibility of becoming even more powerful. If Liv wins Queen of the Ring, she could use that SummerSlam opportunity to chase even more gold. If IYO wins, she earns a direct path back to a major championship match, which I believe would be against her best friend, which is Rhea Ripley. All right, this is speed, creativity, confidence, and championship level pressure all in one match. I want to get everybody's thoughts on this one. This is a match with big ramifications for the future going forward. And which one, and this is another one where I want to hear from each of you. Vote with your heart. What does your heart say? But then is there a difference between what your heart says and what you actually think is going to happen? I want to start with Benny this time. Benny, what are your thoughts on this one? Give it to me. Let me hear what you think.
Well, my heart does want Liv Morgan to win. However, that's as far as it gets. I do not see that happening. It wouldn't make any sense. I believe, isn't it at Crown Jewel where the two champions face off anyway? So are you going to do that and do it again at Crown Jewel? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think to me this one is I believe one of the easier ones to predict. That IYO wins and then IYO challenges Rhea at SummerSlam. I do believe that there will be shenanigans in this one. I believe it's going to be Roxanne, and I'm not sure if it's going to be inadvertent or on purpose. But I think this is where you see the real deterioration of the Judgment Day. You're going to see that on Monday night, and I believe that you got to always look at the SummerSlam, which is what now I think about 5 weeks away or maybe even less.
It's beginning of August, yeah.
Yeah, so I believe, and I'm assuming that Rhea's going to be okay by then. IYO Rhea is a dream match, and I think you have enough time to develop maybe a babyface turn by Liv Morgan, and you have Liv and Roxanne at SummerSlam. So going with IYO all the way.
All right. It's kind of funny how often we have predicted the demise of the Judgment Day, and it's still the slowest burn ever.
Yeah, it's torture.
We keep saying, oh, this is the end of the Judgment Day, and they're like the Energizer Bunny, still going. Nothing outlasts the Judgment Day. So, oh my gosh.
With no judgment, there is no justice.
There you go. Good call, Seth. All right, Chris, give me your thoughts on this matchup. Where do you see it going? What is your prediction? Any interesting thoughts you have on this one?
Yeah, actually, I have a lot of interesting thoughts on this one, and Benny threw a curveball at me here that actually changed my prediction, if I'm going to be honest.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Is that allowed?
I was predicting Liv to win, and I still have my reasons why I think so. But Benny gave a pretty compelling argument of why he thinks Io is going to win, and I actually kind of agree with him. That Io versus Rhea friend versus friend match at SummerSlam is actually a really good story, and I didn't see the potential in that one, and before Benny mentioned it. I was more on the
I mentioned
run
it too,
of
bro.
like I was more on the
You're not
run
as cool,
of
though.
like where on Monday Night Raw when JD got electrocuted and Michael
was
Cole
great.
comes in at the very end and is like, somebody get him to the doctor. I was laughing. I thought that skit was just hilarious. But I thought Liv showing herself as the greatest champion of all time, and she's gonna be the double champion, and she's gonna win it all. I thought that's honestly, I have had a feeling that because she's already coined the phrase double champion and all that, I felt like that's where they're heading with this. But yeah, no, actually, Io versus Rhea is a pretty good match, and then to reconstruct the Judgment Day, or hopefully crush it at some point, would make me happier. But I don't know. I had a feeling like this might have been the thing that is going to keep the Judgment Day going forward, and Liv is going to get the things that she wants. So it could go either way. But I'm actually going to put my stamp on Io because like I said, I felt that Benny had a pretty good argument as to why Io should win it.
Right. My thing with the Judgment Day is just like I felt the Judgment Day should have at least gone a different, like renamed themselves
Yeah,
or something.
me too.
Like the moment Rhea left.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Like I felt like Rhea was really the heart and soul of what Judgment Day was. And
right.
then
Rhea and Damian.
And Damian Priest. When Damian Priest left, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's let Finn do his own thing, but it's not Judgment Day anymore. Like this was Edge's
Right.
thing. It was Edge,
Right.
Damian, and Rhea. And now it's none of them. Finn's out, Damian's out. They're all gone. And it's just,
it's a nonsensical team that has people that don't need to be together right now.
yeah, I'm not really digging anything that they're doing in terms of the Judgment Day right now. So, all right, next up on the list, Seth. Oh wait, Chris. So you were picking Io, right?
Yeah, like I said, Benny sold me. I actually think Io is going to take this one, even though, like I said, your answer was like whether your heart believes it or whether you think it's going to happen. I think Io, like I said, I think Benny's right. I think Io's going to take it.
All right, Seth, what are your thoughts?
I'm going with Liv.
Seth breaking away from the pack again.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
A rebel.
you only broke away from Chris last time.
Yeah.
You became the starter of the pack.
Yeah.
All right, so
Starter.
Seth goes with Liv. Why? Why are you going with Liv?
I feel like even though they've both like won all their matches to get up to this so they can get a championship opportunity at SummerSlam, I feel like we need a reason, like a new thing for Io to go after. So if she loses this, I feel like that would give us that new thing.
Okay. So, okay. I'm trying to process.
You're trying to process my thought process?
Because Io's been out of the world title picture for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I can kind of
But I feel like if you bring her in there after being out for a while, she's not going to win anyways. I feel like going with Liv, you would then have a choice to choose.
You know,
of who you think could win?
What you just mentioned kind of reminded me of something. And that is when you have too many of these things where you win this and you immediately get a championship opportunity. And too often that person wins the title, which means that what you're not getting is a really good chase.
Yeah.
And that's something that I want to see. I want to see if Io's going to go win the title and go after the title. I want to see a good chase. I want to see Io really struggle to get through all of these hurdles and obstacles because she's got the crowd behind her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When you put her in the ring with Rhea Ripley, is the crowd going to be as behind her as they were?
Yeah.
Because you're forcing the audience to choose between arguably the most popular woman in all of professional wrestling in Rhea Ripley and someone who's very, very close in IYO SKY.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and here's the deal. Maybe what if Liv wins and decides, I don't want to face Rhea Ripley? It doesn't say I have to face the WWE Women's Champion, or maybe she chooses another women's champion.
Yeah.
Maybe she chooses the women's Intercontinental Champion. Maybe something happens to where in a recent thing, maybe that's where someone else comes along, wins that title, and Liv goes after her. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's always a million different options you can do no matter who wins.
Yeah.
But obviously the one that makes the most sense is IYO versus Rhea at SummerSlam, which is a great story. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I like long-term storytelling. That's my deal. I don't like just, okay, here's another thing where you can win a championship opportunity, now go win it. Right? Here's Money in the Bank, go win it. Here's this, go win it. Here's the Royal Rumble, go get your title. There's too much of that nowadays. Just earn your spot. Earn your spot through going through, and I guess you could look at this as winning your spot, but there needs to be that chase for me. And not just from one pay-per-view or PLE to the next. I'm talking over the course of months. Chasing and chasing. That's money to me. That gets me fired up and excited. That's why Cody Rhodes winning at 40 shot me to the moon and won over your mother, right, who was not a wrestling fan, who was like, oh, my gosh, this is amazing, because it was a 2-year story that culminated in that moment. That is pro wrestling to me. All right, let's move on to George Fenmore. George, give me your thoughts on this one. IYO SKY versus Liv Morgan, in case you forgot after my rant. So take it away, George. What do you got for me?
I agree that IYO is going to win this because she went through Roxanne in the first round, so that's one Judgment Day member. She went through Raquel, that was the second, and then she's got to go through Liv. So I figure she's going to go through Liv. Now, once she beats Liv, though, while you guys all think she's going to go after Rhea, and it would be a dream match because Rhea's never beaten her, so that's a storyline that they have in a back pocket whenever they want to go for that route. I don't think she's going to go that route. I think she's going to go after Liv for Liv's title.
Really? So you think she's going to beat Liv tonight and then challenge her again?
Again, yeah, because remember, at that point, she would have run the gauntlet of every Judgment Day female member. And that then, I don't know when they're going to do that match. They could do that match before or whatever, before SummerSlam or, at SummerSlam. Because the way I'm looking at it is Stephanie Bakir is still out on injury that Liv put her down. So when Stephanie comes back, she will be in that picture. In my head, long-term story, I see IYO fighting the Judgment, basically the Judgment Day going forward at the, and then having Stephanie return at SummerSlam to even the odds, and IYO get the win that way. That's how I see the future of it going. But you guys are right. Like it's very well a possibility she goes after Rhea. But that's the way I've was seeing the story go.
Well, here's the deal. George just did something that is kind of a no-no in the pro wrestling business, and that's called thinking logically. All right, and it's very true. Gosh, Seth, your mic keeps cutting out. Talk again. So let me explain why George is thinking logically.
In a moment.
Okay. So here's what's happening. So if you were to give her the option of face your best, let's say IYO SKY wins, she defeats Liv Morgan and does so cleanly, and someone comes to you and says you can win one of the women's world titles, you can choose your best friend Rhea Ripley, or you can choose the person that you just defeated cleanly and take her title. The logic move would be like, I know I can beat that one. I just did it. So let me go after that one instead of going after my best friend. That's logic right there. Now, I know that IYO has beaten Rhea on numerous occasions, but logically, would you choose to fight your best friend or someone that you know you can beat that you hate? You're going to choose the person you hate that you want to beat up. So George making a great case there for choosing IYO, but not for the same reason that most of us were. Because that, I'll be honest, that was why I picked IYO. I'm like, I want to see IYO and Rhea go at it again. I want to see those two clash because every time they do, to me, it's magic. IYO and Rhea is magic. Same with Rhea and Charlotte is magic. And I got to start handing it to Rhea as an in-ring performer even more. Like every time I'm more impressed because I keep thinking about, well, Rhea and this person. Wow, okay, that's really good. Rhea and this person. Oh my gosh, that's even better. Rhea made Jade Cargill look like a superstar.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think it's time I start taking Charlotte. Charlotte's my top. Charlotte's like my GOAT in the ring. I think I might have to start reconsidering that and start putting Rhea up there.
Yeah, I feel like Rhea is probably going to be in another feud, raising up another talent. That's also another reason why I'm in that thing. That JCJ, I think, of that new women's faction. I can't even think of the name on the top of my head.
Yeah.
Fatal Influence. I feel like she's going to be working with her because they've already started a feud with it prior to Rhea getting injured. I figure they're going to go with those two fighting at that point.
All right. Well, I'm loving the discussion on this one. Anybody else have anything they want to add to this? Just speak up. Anybody? No? Okay. Let's go to the AI. What does AI think is going to happen in this one? Well, AI agreed with everybody but Seth. And AI said, IYO SKY, that Liv Morgan does not need the tournament win as much because she already holds the Women's World Championship. IYO winning gives the division a fresh SummerSlam direction and gives WWE a built-in challenger coming out of Night of Champions. So AI also going with IYO. Now, so far, it's kind of funny because I kept hearing how difficult this show was going to be to pick. And so far, we haven't had a whole lot of, it's not 50-50, but I think with the next three matches, it might be a little bit different. Seth versus Bron, I think, might be a little bit more of a toss-up. I think that Oba versus Jey, that's a tough one, I think, to call. And Cody, Gunther, and Sami, I don't think, for me, to me, it was like, okay, well, this is a no-brainer. And then it's like, well, I don't know. It just depends on what direction you want to go. It depends on what kind of story you want to tell. And just because you win doesn't mean all right, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different match. I had a brain I've had brain fog all week. This is horrible. I'm having trouble speaking. I'm fine, by the way. It's not that I'm
That's no problem. Same problem.
Yeah. Yeah, before anybody gets worried about my health, I'm fine. I'm just I think a lot of it is guys, you guys know this. This show is like my therapy, right? I've had a terrible work week. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Why? Because we have a little bit of time. We're ahead of schedule. And I've had a terrible week. Horrible. One of the worst weeks at my job that I've had in a very, very long time. And I had shouting matches with people that tried to do wrong by me and the people that work for me and everything. So I was doing what I felt was right for standing up for myself and standing up for my officers, my security staff and stuff. But, oh, man, it was rough. And so I think a lot of that is just built up, and that's probably one of the reasons why. So, but one of the things I wanted to do today anyway was to say thank you to the Sims Nation, to say thank you to everyone that listens on WANT. thank you to everyone who watches on YouTube. Thank you to guests like Chris Hall, Benny the Jet Scala, to George Fenmore, to even my son Seth Sims here, who join us here on the show, because you guys keep me going. You guys give me that boost that I need every Tuesday night, every Friday night, every Saturday morning to make my life better. And I appreciate you. And before we get on to the poll, which is a blowout once again, I want to do a little bit more business here. So don't forget, you can go to Amazon right now and pick up my first book, Vengeance. It is on sale, and it's going to stay at these prices, by the way. It's not going to go back up for this particular book, and I'll tell you why later. But this book, you can get it on Amazon Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. And if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can read it for free. So get on over to Amazon right now and pick up your copy of Vengeance. All right, let's go to the live poll in our live chat here. And it is a unanimous decision. Sorry, Seth, but IYO SKY is the choice for the live chat. So the next match on our card, as we start to prep to get into the last hour of the show, is not where we're going. I want to ask everyone here a very specific question. Somebody that is very much over, getting a lot of television time, and has been making some appearances on PLEs, and I'm guessing will make one today. Danhausen doing his shtick with The Miz, and I mean, it is the funny. Like, I'm getting a kick out of it. Like I said, I still stand by that his reveal was like, okay, like the reveal didn't do it for me, but he has surpassed my expectations ever since. I am getting a kick out of the character. It's very like it knows what it is. It's not pretending like it's anything more than what it is. I'm getting a big kick out of it. And so my question is, does Danhausen show up tonight on Night of Champions, or for all of you here in the States, today on Night of Champions? And we're going to add that to our list of predictions, because this could be the tiebreaker, because we have 6 matches. We need an odd number here, folks, just to be safe. So I want to hear from you guys. It's just a simple question. If you can tell me what you think he might do, but the question is, will Danhausen appear at Night of Champions? So, Chris, since you're on the screen, you tell me, is Danhausen going to make an appearance tonight?
Oh, yeah. ESPN is doing too much with him. He is going, I see outside of WWE action figures. I see this guy has created himself his own little superhero. What childhood dream isn't to create your own comic book character, become that comic book character, and then be world-renowned, known, famous for being that comic book character? It's literally the world's greatest creative dream you could possibly imagine. So yeah, I think he's too much money to not at least sell merch and shoot T-shirts into the cannon at people, and cursing people and whatnot. It's too obvious. But The Miz and Kit Wilson, I think, are the most absolutely spectacular targets for this shenanigan section for him, because it's become Wile E. Coyote versus the Roadrunner, and I am just absolutely here for every bit of it. I think The Miz is one of the greatest performers for stuff like this. He's a yes man. He's willing to humiliate himself on camera for the best moments. I'm also just thoroughly entertained by this whole gimmick. I think they need to keep running with it for as long as they can.
Here's a question for everybody before we get to the rest of everybody else's answers here. Hi, Diamond. So speaking of The Miz, is there anyone but outside of like your biggest names of all time, your biggest draws of all time, is there anybody who has never been the biggest draw? Right? Because let's be honest, The Miz is not exactly a huge draw. He's not The Rock. He's not Cody Rhodes. He's not John Cena. He's main evented WrestleMania and arguably one of the weakest WrestleManias ever, and a pretty poor showing at that for the main event, but he was concussed, so we'll give him a little bit of a break there. But is there anybody who's done more for WWE, been more loyal outside of The Undertaker to deserve all the accolades that he should be thrown by this company? Like, he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer just based on his loyalty and his work ethic.
Amen.
Benny, what do you think about The Miz?
Oh, absolutely. How long has the guy been around? Like 22 years or something like that?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
He's done everything that has been asked of him, and I think very, very well. Definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, George, what do you think?
Oh, 100%. Like Miz is going to be in the Hall of Fame, like, no doubt in my mind. He has earned it tenfold, in my opinion. He's so good at being able to take young talent, put him over. Like, if you go look at his win-loss rate, and over the last, I don't know, was it five years or so, he's been a guy, he's putting everyone over. Like, and everything that The Miz is in always seems to come out shining, looking like $1 million, at least in the last decade. Yeah. Maybe not so much at the beginning, but like the last 10 years or so, everything he's been into has been must-see TV. Think of the stuff he did with at the time Brian Danielson.
Oh yeah.
And all this other stuff. And then when they were both frustrated, just remember that when they were did that shoot thing where they were about to go at it. So
so good.
Yeah. So good. So and now The Miz is showing his comedy work, right? Like, he's doing that whole I'm a zombie because I got electrocuted. It's beautiful, man. That dude can do it all, and my hat's off to him. Mike will be in the Hall of Fame 100%. As soon as he announces his retirement, he may get in. He may be one of those active one guys who gets in there before he retires, and still be an active one like we've had.
Right.
So darn good, man.
One of the things that I think The Miz is actually a very inspiring guy, a very inspiring character. You got a guy that was looked at as a reality guy coming in. He does the tough enough deal. He doesn't win tough enough, but he still fights his way into the WWE. Gets kicked out of the locker room, and I think it was The Undertaker that helped get him back into the locker room, which says a lot right there. The guy can not only, like you said, he can have the most intense promo that just reels you in like he did with Daniel Bryan, and he can also do what he's doing now, which is completely and utterly ridiculous, but it's awesome. By
the way, I think nothing is fair.
What's that?
I do think Dan Helsing will appear tonight, by the way.
All right.
I just want to make sure I get that down.
Yes, George is voting yes. All right.
I feel like The Miz is going to be involved in it too, obviously, because now he's there Dan Helsing's on him like a puppet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love how Miz is playing this right now. All right.
Did you see the show film of those guys go? What Dan Helsing did when they were because they're over doing that tour overseas? Did you see that? The little house show thing that they did. It was epic.
Oh, I have not seen that. I'll have to check that out.
So but the summary of it is, we do check it out. Kit Wilson and the Miz are basically like zombified by Dan Helsing's powers or whatever, and he keeps trying to pin Miz, and he has Miz, and then Miz kicks out even though he's a zombie. It's so hilarious, man.
Oh man, yeah, I'll check that out before the show. Which of course,
to see that in ring stuff as a zombie, that'd be pretty good to see. That's
I was like, I laughed so hard there were tears, man. Tears. It was so stupid. It was funny. It was one of those you just like. Wow.
So guys, so anybody listening or watching here, just as a reminder, so Night of Champions, which is in Saudi, is going to be starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So literally like an hour after we go off the air, Night of Champions goes up. And immediately following Night of Champions, I will be back on YouTube exclusively for our Night of Champions reaction show. So if you can't watch the show, or you do watch the show and you want to jump in and give your thoughts in the live chat, which a lot of people do, it gets kind of intense on those reaction shows. Please jump in. I love interacting with my Sims Nation. I love interacting with you guys. It's great. And speaking of which, I want to welcome Eric Porter into the show and Henry Dick. Henry Dick, welcome to the show. Why did you laugh?
I didn't. What are you talking about?
I heard.
Yeah, there was something stuck in my nose.
Okay. Oh. So you got it up by clearing your throat?
No, that was legit my nose.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. My wife says more like Morning of Champions. Or they should name it Breakfast of Champions. Yes, that's funny. That's actually funny. Yeah, here in the U.S., it is. It is that. In Saudi, however, it will be night. What's that?
I just was talking to Seth. I went PG.
Oh, PG. All right. Henry says a huge Miz fan. His live work at house shows is so good. He can work a crowd. Eric Porter says Kurt Angle did a lot for WWE, but didn't last as long as The Miz. And a lot of people argue that Kurt Angle had a lot more better matches in TNA, but he was also drugged up a lot in TNA, so that didn't help. My wife says I got jokes. That's a Seth thing.
Yeah, I got jokes.
I got jokes. All right. So
she says again too.
Yeah. So Benny, do you think? Let's get through this here. Benny, do you think Danhausen will appear tonight?
I say yes. I mean, the guy is everywhere. I mean, even inserted himself into the NBA Finals. So absolutely yes.
So for what's supposed to be our tiebreaker here is turning out to be not so much one. Seth, what do you got? Do you think Danhausen will appear?
I'm gonna just say yeah.
Seth saying yes. I think you're saying yes because you need to boost your numbers. So I think you're doing. Try to get that easy win. Well, fine. If that's how you guys are going to be, I'm voting no. So
you can lose.
I'm going to go against everybody because I don't care.
You get to lose.
Because here's the deal.
You get full zeros across the board.
These
today.
are my shows. I'm a lifelong WWE fan. Lifelong. I suck at this. I've been like one better than Seth in a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
That means I am exactly the kind of person that WWE wants to watch their programming. Apparently, I am just bad at this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I'm just going to go with it. I mean, I think the best I ever did is when I just went against anything that Doc said. Doc came on here and basically I said, all I'm going to do is, I didn't say it on the air, I don't think, but I said whatever Doc says, I'm going to argue the opposite and promo him on the opposite, and then I'm just going to pick whatever he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I did pretty well that night. Mm-hmm. But Doc's not on the show today because Doc's as much of a wrestling fan as he is, apparently he doesn't want to watch the current product. Which, how dare you, sir? All right, let's move on here. Let's see what the poll has to say. This was not a unanimous decision, so someone agreed with me. All right, and so we have 88% of the vote said yes, Danhausen will appear. Only 12% said no. As we go into the second hour of the show, we're going into 3 matches that I think are going to be a little bit tougher. I think we might get a little bit more back and forth here. We'll find out. I've been wrong before, obviously. So let's see what happens.
I'm going a full winning streak.
As we head into Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins in a steel cage match. All right. This rivalry goes back to the collapse of the original vision Bron Breakker was once united with Seth Rollins, but eventually led a coup that kicked Rollins out of his own faction. After both men dealt with injuries, Braun reappeared at WrestleMania 42, speared Seth Rollins, costing him his match against Gunther on the biggest stage of the year. At Backlash, Braun defeated Rollins with help from The Vision and Paul Heyman, which kept the rivalry boiling. Both Rollins eventually got some revenge on Monday Night Raw, defeating Braun after Breakker accidentally speared Heyman and then knocked himself out by spearing Rollins while Seth was holding one of the tag team titles. Rollins capitalized and hit the stomp for the win, but the Vision got involved again the following week, costing Rollins a chance to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. That led Rollins to challenge Breakker to a steel cage match. That is why the cage matters here. And I love when the cage makes sense in a rivalry. And this one, the cage makes sense. You build till you need to contain these guys and put them in that cage. This is supposed to keep the outside interference away. Supposed to. Let's remember that word. All right? No shortcuts. Except walking out the door. And we all know how Jesse Ventura feels about walking out the door. No easy escape from the damage. Just Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker locked inside the cage. Now, this isn't Hell in a Cell, which is a little bit different. This is a cage match, which means you can win by going over the top. You can walk through the door, like we said, not Jesse's favorite thing. Or you can still win by pinfall or submission. All right. For Seth, this is about revenge, survival, and taking back control of his story. For Braun, this is about proving that he's not just the future, he's the present. And he can destroy a top star on a major stage. So with a match involving a Seth, let's start with Seth. Seth, what do you see from this match? What is your prediction? Take it away.
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins, because like Bron Breakker's the kind of guy to just stand there and be like, "Hit me, come on, hit me," and then when they do and it doesn't do anything, he hits back. But Seth Rollins is the kind of guy to be like, "Stand still and let me hit you," and then he'll take you out. So I feel like this is a perfect situation for both of them to go against each other. And I feel like the more powerful one in that kind of situation would be Seth Rollins.
So you're going with Seth?
Yeah.
You're going with your namesake?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't hear anything else you said. I'm just going to go with that.
Oh, just because. just because.
No, I'm joking. I keyed. All right, George Fenmore. Give us your thoughts on Seth versus Braun in the steel cage. And what are your predictions for this one?
So, Mr. Pat Sims.
Yes, sir.
I know we're on the air. I sent you a picture on Facebook Messenger. If you should take a look at that, because it's going to go with what I'm talking about.
I don't. This doesn't sound appropriate for.
That picture is of Bronson Reed, the fourth member of the Vision, who has been out for quite some time. And the reason why this is so important is if you see the transformation this man had. He had a tremendous transformation. He looks like $1 million right now. He's been rehabbing strong. I feel like he's going to make his return tonight, and I feel like he is going to cost Seth Rollins that match and give Bron Breakker the win.
All right. Yeah, did anyone else think that George had sent me something highly inappropriate?
We all did.
When he said that? Like, I was very tentatively opening my messenger thinking, what could this be? And then he says... then he starts talking about the transformation of Bronson. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of had to be like, okay, I feel better. Yeah, I thought he had sent me something like I thought he took like I thought he was sexting me or something. Like that was.
Baby, how you doing?
He's like, don't worry, Pat. This image I sent you is gonna go perfectly with my.
I
pic."
think the thing that made it the most suspicious was he said, "I know we're on live, so it's gonna be a
Right.
bit weird." And I'm like, "What did you send him that shouldn't be on a live YouTube stream?"
Well, because my
He's
first thought,
auditioning his calendar photos.
my first,
Well,
my first thought was that he could have held the picture to the camera, or he could have done a screen share on Zoom to show us. But yeah, that he sent it to me. This is what he sent me, by the way, folks. I'm just going to show you guys. This is what he sent me.
I want you to put it on the air. I want you to put it on the air. That's why I sent it to you.
There's what he sent me right there. That's
Yeah,
the
but can you actually put it in there?
I'm
Like,
still
I can
waiting
get
for like 20 seconds to see it.
Bronson's transformation is nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, are you able to put his transformation on screen, Pat? Like, I put it on.
Uh,
for our.
Give me.
Oh, there we go. I see it now.
Give me a moment.
Because that's what I was trying to do. I figured if you had a copy of it, you could then, do your shenanigan magic.
Yeah, well, let's go to Benny first. Let's let Benny give his thoughts, and then let me see if I can put this up on the screen. It won't be pretty, but I'll get it up on the screen. Shows are always better when I can pre-plan what I'm putting up on the screen. But I'll do my best. So give me a second. So
yeah, this is the classic case of somebody needing a win, like way more than the other guy. I mean, let's face it, the division is on life support right now. Yeah, Logan Paul injured, Bronson Reed injured. Although I do agree with George, and Austin Theory has about as much compulsion. He's about as appealing as Stephen Hawking in a slap fight. Just they lost their title. They dropped the tag title. I really think. I mean, and keep in mind that Braun Breaker was like the beginning of this year. He was like the megastar, the next big thing, the future of wrestling. He gets hurt. All of a sudden, some guy named Oba comes and takes his place. At the head of the line there, and Braun desperately needs to reestablish himself.
Yeah,
And,
Bron, that's one reason why I went into that, because I feel like he really does need it. So.
Yeah, I mean, and Seth, Seth is at the point in his career where, a loss like this, even losing the feud, technically, it's not going to hurt him. He'll move on and do something else.
all right, I'm looking at the live chat. It seems like we have a lot more here going on. So Benny, because I'm kind of multitasking here, so I can write it down. What exactly was your pick again?
It's a Braun Breaker. I'm going to
Breaker.
predict some shenanigans, a returning Bronson Reed, like George said. But yeah, Braun Breaker.
All right, Braun Breaker is your pick. All right. So let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to get all this done here because I want to make George Fenmore happy. I want to make George happy here, so I want to get this. I want to get this up on the screen here. So bear with me. I have to go through a little bit here. All right. So I think I got it. Took me a little bit because I had to go from my phone to the computer to my program here. But here you go. There it is. Yep. So.
Transformation. He's coming back yoked.
Yeah. He looks like $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, if I hit the little eyeball that makes the image go away, it takes away their audio too. So nobody heard you for a little bit because I was trying to just show the picture. But all right, but there it is. There's Bronson Reed right there, just looking really, really good, really fit, and yeah.
Damn.
So all right, guys. Let me give you. So Benny is going with Braun. Chris, you're up, brother.
Yeah, I'm also going with Braun. And I just wanna like put like the match between the two of them in perspective. I actually disagree with Eric Porter, and I think that this is a really great rivalry that's lasted for years, not just months. People think that this is a Vision rivalry, but also Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker go back to 2023 when Bron was still in NXT, and Bron got a World Championship match spot against Seth Rollins and lost at that PLE. So Braun has actually 2 losses against Seth Rollins and only 1 win. So this win would even the score between them, give Braun the win he needs over Seth. I also agree that Seth, in a no stipulation, like there's no title on the match. There's no reason why either one of them would care about losing this match other than pride. And so I also agree that Seth has nothing to lose here. It's gonna make Braun look so much better if they make Braun look big and Braun that look like he can beat Seth. And shenanigan might hurt that, although I do think that it's within the Vision's kind of playing cards that Bronson would come back, especially after the transformation, to make a showing for him, to show how good he looks. Good timing for it. So I agree with everything that's been said so far, and I also agree that this is Braun's time to win this match.
Okay. All right. So you're going with Bron Breakker. So far, Seth's the only outlier here. He's the only one picking Seth Rollins. But here's my take on it. And this is just me kind of fan booking this. So I also kind of disagree that this is a boring feud. I think one of the things that hurt the feud is been injury. I think that, Seth got hurt, Braun got hurt. So it's had this kind of start-stop thing going on here. And I think if you look at it, kind of the original intent was probably for Seth Rollins to kind of one by one go through the Vision, and that plan kind of changed. And I think it was the end result would be that Seth goes from probably Austin Theory to Logan Paul to Bronson Reed to Bron Breakker and get to Paul Heyman, right? Because Paul Heyman and Seth started all of this. So maybe the end result would be Seth gets his, gets to go after Paul Heyman here. Not in a match, but, that's how managers used to be. Managers would manage their guys, and you would fight through their guys to get to them. It happened. Hogan, Warrior, with Bobby Heenan. That you looked forward to seeing the managers get what was coming to them. But all that kind of changed because of injuries. Bronson Reed got hurt. Bron Breakker, Seth Rollins, like we said. But for me, I think if you're going to make a logical, again, maybe going against the rules here and think logically here, how does Seth Rollins overcome a group of guys like the Vision? Even a steel cage can't keep out Logan Paul, Austin Theory, can't keep out Bronson Reed if they're still going to show this as a unified group. You can't tell that story realistically, I don't think. You have to ban everyone else from the ring, and then you could realistically maybe say Seth could beat Braun. But for me, I think the story could be more where the Vision just completely overpowers Seth Rollins. And Seth realizes that he can't do this on his own. He wants to take down the Vision. He wants to take down the monster he helped create. But he can't do it on his own, and so he needs to bring together a team to go against them. Does that make sense?
I have a question for you.
Yes, George.
Do you think they're going to take this to a Hell in a Cell eventually?
Do they still have the Hell in a Cell PLE?
No.
No, they don't. You know what? I think if you go with the cage match and then you go with Hell in a Cell, I don't know. I think that they're too similar.
I'm just asking if you think that this feud eventually is going to culminate with it being at a Hell in a Cell because of all the outside interference. They finally have one where no one can, because in a cage people will find a way to get in, but usually in cells that they're designed to the whole purpose of them is to stop that completely.
Right.
So do you
Which
feel
never
like
works.
it never does. But that's the concept, right? Do you
Right.
feel like they're eventually
No.
gonna go in that way? So
No.
eh?
If you want to
No?
know what I would actually do, if I were fantasy booking this, it would not be a Hell in a Cell. Here's how I would fantasy book this. You've got the Vision. Seth can't beat the entirety of the Vision on his own. So he puts together a team, and it's over time. It's a build. It's a long-term storytelling. It culminates with War Games.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Now, that doesn't mean that, maybe you could put in a stipulation that the winning team, it forces the losing team to dissolve. Something like that. You have some kind of stipulation involved, or maybe the winning team has, like, if Seth's team wins, Seth gets a one-on-one with no everyone else is banned from ringside. You can put things together to make it make sense, but I would like to see that build. Again, I'm a huge fan of long-term storytelling. It's why I have trouble going back and watching a lot of the Attitude Era stuff. There was a lot of Attitude Era stuff that was entertaining in the time, but you go back and you're just like boom, 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 boom. It was rapid storytelling. And it felt like they were reaching out to the people with ADHD, right? They were assuming we have no long-term attention spans. So they were like, all right, Chris Hall, I think you're the most active person in the chat, and you're on the show. Bron is going to break Seth in the cage, and Reed is going to interfere, possibly ripping the door off. See, like, that's how Bron Breakker should be presented. Bron should be like how Kane was brought in. When he came down to the Hell in a Cell, and you hear Vince McMahon, I mean, I'm sorry, I still get a kick out of Vince McMahon as a commentator, and he's yelling, "He just ripped the door off its hinges!" That was epic. That was amazing. Yeah. I mean, Mark Henry had to legit break a chain, I think, because they didn't put the rigged one on. So he had to break something, and they didn't put the gimmick one on. So he had to legit break it. Like, those are cool moments. Those are awesome moments. And so that's why I also do think, Seth, sorry, but I think that Bron Breakker wins tonight. And
hey, don't be sorry. That just means I get to win over everybody else.
And yeah, and like I said earlier,
going a full win streak today.
I mentioned my book Vengeance, and the reason why those prices will never come up. The book Vengeance is about 150 pages, something like that. It was my first book. I'm very proud of it. Don't get me wrong, but next week on Friday, July 3rd, the second installment makes its way to Amazon. Vengeance, Blood of the Cross is officially going to be released on July 3rd, 2026. Pre-orders for the Amazon Kindle version are available right now. The book is completed. It's uploaded. It's ready to go. And this book is about twice as long. That's why, I really went all out. We've actually got 4 books, 4 sequels coming out. We've got this one and 3 more to go to wrap up the entire Vengeance storyline. But, and that's thanks to people like Benny here that encouraged me to do so and wanted to see more of this story. And I wasn't going to do it, but then an idea hit me and I ran with it. So that's why, with this book being a much larger, I think a much better book, that's why we dropped the price of the original book down to what it is. This book is going to be $9.99 for Kindle, $19.99 for paperback, and $24.99 for hardcover. So make sure July 3rd, be one of the first to get your copy of Vengeance, Blood of the Cross. All right, let's go to that live chat before we head into our second to last match, the penultimate match. I think that's how you say it. And we are dead split 50-50 in the live chat. Exactly what I wanted. That means, can I get one more vote? We have enough people here. Not everybody watching has voted. I just need one more vote in the live chat. Next vote decides the poll's decision. It's 50-50. Seth. Oh, there we go. End of poll. We are ending the poll right now. Seth, congratulations. Seth Rollins
I'm telling
is
you,
the official choice of this matchup
I'm going full win today.
by the live
I'm
chat.
winning everything.
And here's the deal. We also need to know what AI thinks, because of course we do. AI, when I asked it, Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker in the steel cage, the answer it gave me was, drum roll please, Seth Rollins. Bron Breakker will look dominant even in defeat, but the steel cage stipulation feels designed to give Rollins the win without outside interference. Seth winning also gives the rivalry a satisfying chapter while still leaving Braun dangerous enough to move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So we have 4 votes for Bron Breakker and 3 votes for Seth Rollins. And that takes us into their next matchup. It is the King of the Ring tournament final.
You guys should stop having me do research. I'm on a roll today.
You are.
I'm too good with research.
Main event, Jey Uso versus Oba Femi. And Eric Porter in the live chat said that you know that Lesnar will show up today for the Saudi money, which, okay. But I actually have a thought about that, and I'm going to say it later. But let's talk about this match here. All right. It has major SummerSlam implications because the winner earns a world title opportunity. Oba Femi has looked like a monster throughout this tournament. He regrouped after his battles with Brock Lesnar and won a first-round fatal four-way against Intercontinental Champion Penta, Solo Sikoa, and Carmelo Hayes. From there, he dominated AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio in the semifinals, and WWE calls him the Ruler, and this tournament feels tailor-made for someone with that kind of presence. Jey Uso's path has been a little different. Jey has the crowd, the emotion, and the bloodline connection behind him. With the bloodline reunited, Roman Reigns tasked Jey with winning King of the Ring without help. Jey advanced by defeating LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor in the first round, then defeated Javon Evans in the semifinals. And last night on SmackDown, the tension exploded. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Gunther, and Jey Uso all ended up brawling, and then Oba Femi came out. The show ended with Oba watching the chaos and standing face-to-face with Cody Rhodes. That was a very interesting visual because if Oba wins, then SummerSlam would likely put him on a collision course with Cody Rhodes. So this is more than just a tournament final. For Jey Uso, it's a chance to bring another major opportunity back to the bloodline. For Oba Femi, it's a chance to become King of the Ring and officially step into the main event world title picture. So I want to hear, this is an interesting one here, but I want to address real quick what Eric Porter said. You know that Lesnar will show up today for the Saudi money. I want to hear what you guys think about all of this, including the potential of Brock Lesnar showing up. But I tend to lean towards, I don't think Brock Lesnar is showing up tonight because my biggest question, again, maybe wrongly thinking logically, is why? Lesnar beat Oba Femi last time they faced. Lesnar can kind of go, okay, and I'll let you answer. I'll let you answer. Give me a second. Lesnar has the ability to say, look, I defeated you, right? And it's always the last, you're only as good as your last one. If you only remember the last one. So does Brock really need to go out and screw Oba Femi over in this matchup? Or does he need to appear in this matchup? I don't see it. So if you guys can make a case for it, I'll listen, obviously. But I don't see it. I'm not convinced that Brock needs to be a part of this or that he should be a part of it. So let's see. If we're going in order here, it looks like George gets opportunity to go first. So, George, I know you're raring to go. Give it to me. What do you got?
Well, first of all, I feel for the prediction for the match, I feel Jey is going to win due to Brock Lesnar's outside interference.
How dare you,
And
sir.
the reason I say Brock's going to interfere with this is that Oba has been constantly calling Brock out each and every week on the microphone. He has been talking crap about Brock, telling him like, "What you said? How am I after I?" Because during the last feud, he told Oba that, "How are you if you take a loss? Like I could take an ass beating." His words, not mine, and keep coming back. And Oba kept I came back and said basically using the same line on him, and he goes, "I'm still here. Where are you? We're 1-1." Let's He keeps talking smack each and every week. So leading up to this, it's almost a foregone conclusion in my mind that Brock is gonna cost Oba that match, because you want to talk all that smack. Well, here you go. And it's going to lead to the third and final match. And it's been rumors all year that Brock was going to permanently retire in Minnesota, which is where at SummerSlam. So it's going to be Oba versus Brock, and they're going to put Oba over as the $1 million, as the $1 million, like they try to do at Mania. And there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dominic Mysterio has entered the live chat, and his first comment in the live chat.
Dom is here.
Sup. It's a very Dominic Mysterio thing to say.
We've got to vote between Oba and Hey.
Hey. Ah! I ain't changing it. You guys have to vote for Oba or Hey.
I closed the poll so I don't accidentally vote and I can see the chat. So I have no idea what it looks like.
It looks like exactly what he says. It looks like you're voting for Oba Femi or Hey Uso. Hey. So I'm not changing it. Eric Porter says 2 losses for Oba. I don't think that's a good move. So are we talking about Oba's 2 losses being Brock and now the King of the Ring, or do you mean 2 losses as in 2 losses to Brock? However, I do agree with Seth. What'd you say, Seth?
I think he's talking about the Seth Rollins one.
Oh,
because I haven't gone on this one yet.
Yeah, that's true. Unless maybe he thought George was you.
Maybe he's no. He's pre-gaming. He knows that I'm gonna win because I'm on a winning streak right now.
He's pulling a Pat Zini. That's what he's doing. All right. So George is going with Hey Uso. So because of Brock Lesnar. So and I get that's about as good of an explanation as you can give to convince me that I'm wrong.
I mean, if you really still need to go down that route, you also got Jacob Fatu that could interfere. You have the Usos, you have Roman himself. There's a million and trillion reasons why, but Jey is going to win, and I have a feeling it's just going to be because of Brock's interference.
Right.
So.
And I did think Seth was George. George, my apologies for someone thinking you were Seth. I actually have a little bit of a comeback to that, and I before I forget it really quickly. So we know that Roman wanted Jey to go out and win it on his own. And for me, the bloodline was at its best, not when they were all united, but when there was a little bit of tension going on. I always loved when the bloodline had that bit of tension, whether it was between Jey and Sami, between Roman and whoever. I always loved that it was never a fully cohesive unit, right? I always loved that. I really want to see this. I'm not giving my prediction now, but let's say Brock doesn't show up. Let's say Oba and Jey go at it. Nobody, because Roman said you got to do it on your own. So Jacob doesn't show up. None of the bloodline shows up. Jay's got to go out there doing it on his own. And what if Oba wins? We've got that bloodline tension back. We've got the storyline of Jey failed in this instance, and now Roman is pissed. And a pissed off Roman is a great Roman.
Pat, what if another thing too, right? Everyone's assuming Jey is going to pick Cody because Roman told him to. What if he picks Roman?
Exactly.
There's been heat because of the Jacob thing. There's been a lot of heat right there.
Right.
What if he picks Roman?
Right, and that's why I love just giving out more crap. Like, I haven't given my prediction yet. It's just the more I hear, the more I throw out, because that's what makes a match so much fun, is when there's so many different routes that you can go, which makes the prediction so difficult. Like, this to me is not just a Brock's coming out, he's going to screw Oba, Jay's going to win. Because I'm seeing 8 different avenues that we can go, and all of them look like a good time to me. So let's keep moving, though. Benny, give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, this by far for me was the toughest one to predict. But, as far as Oba taking 2 losses, number one, there's no more 173-0 Goldberg. That doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
In 2026. Guys lose matches and they come back from them. And quite honestly, in my opinion, Oba's going to lose, even if he doesn't lose to Jey, he's not going to become a world champion, in my opinion, at SummerSlam. So whether he loses tonight or today, or he loses at SummerSlam, what's the difference? He's going to lose. I do believe, I mean, for that reason, I do think Brock is going to come and interfere. I think he's going to cost Oba the match. Jey wins cleanly. And I'm not sure if the bloodline shows up or not. If Brock's a factor, so you need the bloodline too. But I think for the reason George just said, if Jey does win, now he's got the choice. Does he choose Cody, which is what Roman told him to do? Does he choose Roman? And now you got a lot of heat in the bloodline. I think the money match for Oba is at SummerSlam with Brock, and Oba retires Brock. I don't think Oba's going to retire Brock and then have a title match besides that. I think that's too much too soon. I think Oba, wins the 2 out of 3 series with Brock, and now he's a made man. He retired Brock Lesnar, and he goes. There's plenty of time to pull the trigger on Oba Femi.
Right.
I think it's just too soon to do it now. So I do have Jey winning, with some shenanigans.
All right. So far in the live chat, Oba's winning, ladies and gentlemen. 57% of the vote right now is leaning.
That's 4 out of 7.
What's that? Well, yeah.
1 more, it's tied.
Yeah. What's that?
1 more, it's tied.
Oh, yeah, 1 more. Yes. But Oba's winning. And so far, Oba has no votes here. But let's go to Chris. Chris Hall, give us your thoughts on this one. Who's walking away the new king of the ring?
I have been quietly biding my time, waiting to answer this ever since you said, I want to hear how you think that Brock coming in is going to be interesting or whatever. And George got to speak up. I've been sitting over here through all of it going, I know what I've wanted to say. No one has influenced me yet.
Well, you're taking a long time to get there, bro.
Yeah, no, it took a long time for me to say
building
it. So
suspense.
No, I think that a clean loss to Jey Uso is not what we need in Oba. That's not what we want to see right now. Jey going heel recently, saying he doesn't care what the fans think, and him changing character, I think is a really, really awesome pivot to put him against Cody. I think Cody versus Jey at SummerSlam, a heel Jey, is a good draw. I think Jey going after the WWE title and then losing the WWE title is a good way to get Roman mad and to cause some dissension there. I also think that we're telling a bigger story than Oba winning the King of the Ring and going after the World Heavyweight title. I think the promo he cut on Monday when he said, "You're the wrong family member I'm going after," I thought that was one of the best promos he could have cut right there. And I thought it was 10 out of 10. I clapped when he said that. So that creates a really good story that we could potentially see Oba winning and then Oba versus Roman at SummerSlam. It's too soon for that. We need to finish Oba versus Brock at SummerSlam. That started at WrestleMania. Brock even said, now we're even or something like that in terms of our win-loss ratio or something like that. So Oba v Brock 3 is coming. And I think World WWE title, Jey versus Cody with a heel Jey, and Oba versus Brock 3 at SummerSlam. tells a better story, is better for business, and I think that's the way it's going to play out. I also think it's going to be with some shenanigans, and I think that the shenanigans are going to be Brock. I don't think Bloodline is coming out,
Okay.
and I think that's the way they're going to tell that story.
All right. So we're so far, Jay, across the board. Seth, are you the Jey Uso breaker?
Yeah, I'm the breaker.
You're going with Oba.
Yeah.
Why?
Usually, like, this match is kind of a brains versus bronze match.
No, we already had Bron last match.
And Jay, I will usually
Both of
go
them.
with the brains, which in this case would be Jay. But I feel
Ouch,
like,
poor Oba.
yeah, but Oba would be the bronze in this case. But I feel like if he wins, it would set him up to be kind of like the new unstoppable monster kind of
Right.
character.
Right.
And right now, Gunther is distracted by Cody Rhodes and that whole rivalry. So he's kind of out of that unstoppable monster position for now.
Yeah, I think they've kind of
So
done away with.
I feel like we're going to need a new unstoppable monster at some point, and I think this would be a good place to start with Oba.
Okay, so you think that doing it tonight is a better option than more so shooting him with a rocket at SummerSlam by defeating Brock?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And here's the deal. Like,
Because
he already had the rocket strapped to him when he beat Brock, like, severely at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a great ending there. Like, I get, okay, maybe you want to retire in Minnesota, but if you're going to walk away on the biggest stage, and I get it was a work,
Yeah.
but it was a work that worked, that didn't need to go from there. Oba was now a made man.
Yeah.
And everything that's happened after, I kind of agree with some of the guys that's jumped into the chat where it's like, with it continuing, it kind of brought Oba down a peg. And now he's got to fight to get himself back up. So I don't know if the SummerSlam win does as much for Oba as the WrestleMania win already did. Now, I'm not saying that's not the direction they're going to go, but that's my thought on it. I don't like the rubber match thing the more I've thought about it. It doesn't get better the more I think about it, because I'm just like, I like Oba Femi. I do. And I was...
think Oba should
What's
Brock
that,
at
George?
all. I don't think Oba should have lost to Brock at all. I think he should have went 0-3 against Brock. I think every time Brock tried, it was just this one hill that Brock couldn't climb. That's what I felt like it should have been. Like,
Right.
that's how you make that next star as you're on your way out. No matter what you do, you can't beat them. This guy is this unstoppable monster that no matter what, Brock Lesnar, the guy who can't be, that can take down anybody, couldn't take him down. That's how they should have left it. And that last match made no sense to me whatsoever.
Like, I got it. Like, when I was watching it, I understood exactly what they were doing, right? It's a very WWE thing, which is one guy wins one guy wins two, and then you've got, right? And then you have the rubber match. But I got what they were trying to do. It still made Oba look pretty awesome when he gets put through a table. You can't keep him down. It took, what, 7? I think Benny predicted like 6 F5s was going to beat Oba, and it was 7 F5s, which is insane. So I kind of got what they're doing. But I do agree with you in a sense, George. I think you made a good point there. But we got to keep rolling because we're getting close to our end time here. So before we get to our poll, the AI's pick is Oba Femi. So AI agreeing with Seth yet again, saying Jey Uso is always believable because of his popularity and the bloodline story, but Oba Femi winning King of the Ring feels like the stronger long-term move. The King Oba presentation practically writes itself. I do like that idea. That's actually pretty cool. And it instantly elevates him into the SummerSlam world title conversation. And one of the things I thought about, those title shots can be interrupted. Oba can win King of the Ring and still face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam because Oba just basically said, like, let's say Brock does do something to Oba, and Oba goes, I don't want Cody yet. I want Brock. I want to finish this at SummerSlam as King of the Ring. That's what I want. So
You just gave me an idea for something. What if Oba wins and he does, because there's 2 nights for SummerSlam. What if he does like Roman one of those nights and Brock the other night and wins both?
there you go. I forgot that SummerSlam's a 2-night event. Dude, Oba could pull double duty. I mean, you want to talk about strapping a rocket to a guy. Double duty for Oba Femi. Dude, that's awesome. I love that. That's a great idea, George. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. And to show my appreciation, I want to let you know right now, George, that you can go to any major streaming platform and you can listen to Catching Stars, my first original album, available right now across Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Pandora, and more. So check it out. Just search for Positively Pat Sims and check out Catching Stars. The next album should be coming out within the next month or two. I just got to get it wrapped up, get the vocals done. But it's going to be an even better sounding album. I promise you guys that. I've learned a lot recently. So can't wait for that. All right, now let's go to the live chat. Did the live chat agree with the majority of Jey Uso, or did it go against the grain? The answer is
me.
62% of the vote was for Femi.
Yeah, let's go.
So
I'm on a roll today. I'm winning. I am winning this.
The live chat. This is kind of incredible because I think the live chat has agreed with Seth every time.
No, one of them I missed.
Oh yeah,
It was like the
Liv
12%
Morgan.
one.
It was the Liv
Or
Morgan.
no, 0%. Yeah.
You picked Liv to win, and everyone else on the planet picked IYO SKY.
I'm still winning that one.
But
I'm still winning.
that's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
That you have matched the live chat for the majority of this. Well, let's see what happens.
I did like hours of research instead of using just ChatGPT for 5 minutes, and then now I'm winning.
Round of applause for Seth. Round of applause. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that.
Right?
All right, let's move on to our final match, the main event, I believe, which will be the main event of the night. This is Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Championship triple threat match. Yes, let's get into this. This story does have several layers to it. Cody Rhodes and Gunther's rivalry exploded at WWE Clash in Italy. I made myself very much known about that one on our reaction show. Cody retained in a hard-fought match, but there was controversy because the official did not see Gunther's foot under the bottom rope. Once again, I had a lot to say about that moment. Gunther returned to SmackDown furious over that loss and was granted a rematch. He was even given the chance to choose the stipulation. Instead of picking a standard stipulation, Gunther chose Sami Zayn as the special guest referee. Eric Porter agrees with you, Seth, about Liv. That choice had a lot behind it. Sami Zayn has been spiraling emotionally for months. He has called himself the last good guy, but he has also shown frustration, jealousy, and anger towards Cody Rhodes. And Sami lost the United States Championship to Trick Williams at WrestleMania 42. Lost a non-title match to Cody, and then turned his back while Gunther attacked Cody after a match. Gunther saw all of that and believed Sami could be used against Cody. But things did not go the way Gunther planned. On the June 19th SmackDown, Sami cost Gunther his title match. Cody wanted the match restarted, but that turned into chaos when Sami attacked both Cody and Gunther. That led to this triple threat matchup. And last night, guys, on SmackDown, WWE gave us one last major angle before tonight's show, before the Breakfast of Champions. Cody Rhodes was interrupted by Sami Zayn, Gunther, Jey Uso, and eventually Oba Femi. The segment ended with chaos, with Cody, Sami, Gunther, and Jey brawling while Oba watched, as we talked about earlier. So Cody walks into Breakfast of Champions with the title, but he does not have to be pinned to lose it. Gunther walks in believing he was robbed and deserves to be champion. Sami walks in unstable, angry, and desperate to prove that he still belongs at the top. That is what makes this match dangerous and interesting. Cody is the champion, Gunther is the threat, and Sami is the wild card, and we're in Saudi, so of course Sami is the wild card. No offense.
I have a fun way of explaining my thought process.
Well, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then Seth, take it away. What is your thought?
It's a game of rock, paper, scissors. Okay? And I was trying to think of how I would explain why I think Gunther's going to win. Okay? Because okay. Gunther,
Go for it.
Gunther is the bronze in this match, so he's easily the Rock.
Okay.
Cody has experience and is the title holder, so he's sharp and he's strong, so he's the scissors.
Okay.
And Sami Zayn is unstable, like you said, so he's a bit flimsy, but he's still strong and sharp, so he's going to have that paper cut. So it just
paper cut.
Yeah, so it just depends on who hits first. So and Gunther's obviously going to go after Cody because that's that whole rivalry. But Cody
Rock
has
beats
the
scissors.
title. Yeah, but Cody has the title, so Sami Zayn's going to go after Cody as well. Sami Zayn's the faster guy, so he's going to get beaten by Cody, but that's going to wear out Cody a little bit, and then it's Gunther versus Cody, and Gunther wins.
So you're voting Gunther.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
Not just because of rock, paper, scissors logic. That was
no,
just
no, no.
the best way to explain
I
it.
like the idea that you went off that solely off the rock, paper, scissors analogy.
Only because of rock, paper, scissors
Because
does Gunther win.
Scissors Cody is going to take out paper Sami.
Yeah.
And so the paper can't beat rock anymore, and scissors can't beat rock, so rock comes in and takes out scissors. I mean, it's genius.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty intelligent professional wrestling analysis.
I don't think there's a more pro wrestling way to make a prediction than rock, paper, scissors. That is amazing.
It is the nerdiest way to explain
Oh
that.
my gosh, that is amazing. Seth has we got a mic.
Revolutionary.
We got a mic drop the show right now. You can't do better than that. Actually, you know who might be able to do better is the guy that is the king of making sure he is uber prepared for every show, which means that he will have an intelligent answer to this question. Not to say yours wasn't intelligent, so it was well thought out.
It was very
But let's go to
intelligent.
Benny the Jet and find out what the king of predictions has to say about this one.
Well, first of all, to quote the great George Carlin, if it's undisputed, what's all we're fighting about, right? So again, I'm looking at this PLE and I'm looking towards SummerSlam because that's the major PLE, and I'm thinking with that, always with that in mind. And I think there's no way that Cody Rhodes is going to drop the title. He's the franchise, he's the money machine, the merch mover, everything. What I see is that he faces Jey at SummerSlam, but I think we have to remember that Randy Orton is looming on the horizon. And will he insert himself here? I'm going to say no, but I predict that somehow he's going to work his way into the SummerSlam match, and it's going to be a three-way with Jey, Cody, and Randy Orton. So I am picking Cody to retain. Now, my heart absolutely wants Gunther to win. I love Gunther. I really feel like his star has been tarnished a bit since he moved over to SmackDown. He was pretty much invincible on Monday Night Raw. He's not the same anymore. So, but I just don't. I still, as much as I want him to win, I just don't see him winning.
So officially, you're going with Cody?
Cody.
Okay. All right. And my prediction is, or my thought is, that looming is the least threatening word used in a threatening manner. I hear people using the word looming, and they always like you said it in a very kind of like dangerous way. Randy Orton is looming in the background, and it's like the word just has no threat to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Looming.
It's because
looming,
loom.
yes.
It's
Like-
because loom is like in the middle of a bunch of nice words.
You
Yeah.
could be looming at Burger King waiting for your Whopper, right? I mean,
Right. Like I like lurking. Lurking is
Lurking
is
a
much
better
step
than
up
looming,
from
yes,
looming. Looming.
Well, because there's
This
a
is-
loom.
This
There's
is you can only
illuminating.
find this kind of conversation on the Positively Pet Sim show. I promise you that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's move on to Chris Hall. Chris, hey, you're on the screen. So, Chris, give us your thoughts on this one. What's your prediction? Take it away.
This one's harder to predict.
That's what she said.
And it's just when I actually look at it on paper and I see Cody versus Gunther versus Sami, Eric Porter that has a point. Sami could finally win in Saudi. Like, even though for the storyline right now that doesn't make sense, and it really might not be what's best for business. A completely flipped heel turn for Sami being the champion in Saudi Arabia could be a storyline they've been sitting on and they could pull out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden we're not expecting for this great story to come about.
Right.
So that's a possibility. But Gunther winning the WWE title I would feel time for him. I think he needs to be the WWE champion on top as a heel, kind of Triple H run for a little bit and be the top dog. And I think that would push him back to being that undefeatable person that he once was on Raw. So I think Gunther is a really strong possibility, and I want Gunther to win, just like Benny. But then thinking about the bigger picture with Oba and the King of the Ring, and who's going to win for Crown Jewel, who are we pinning champion versus champion at Crown Jewel, and the larger story that's being told here, building into next year's WrestleMania. Cody is still their front man. And I also agree with Benny that I voted for Cody. I think it's as interesting as Sami would be. As much as I want Gunther to win it, I voted Cody.
All right, we got 2 Codys, 1 Gunther. George, we're on to you. Your prediction and your thoughts.
So I'm on the thing that again, they're in Saudi. Sami might end up pulling it out the win. I don't think he's going to beat Cody. I think he'll get a pin if he does do it, because Sami's been doing a lot of this heel basically stuff while claiming to be a good guy. I feel like Cody's going to have Gunther beat, and Sami's going to knock him out of the ring and pin Gunther or something like that. I feel like if Sami does that then sets you up more bloodline stuff in the future, because then you have Jey versus Sami. Or you could, again, it's the same thing you do with Jey versus Cody as well. But I just feel like, there was what was it, last week that Sami had made a comment to Jey going, "Tell the family I said hi." So it sounds like they could start intertwining him back into that fold, and by having him be the champion that has to fight Jey. And what if Sami? Let's go down that avenue. If say Sami beats Jey somehow, way, shape, or form, now you got Roman versus Sami. That's the match we've been wanting to get a nice, good rematch on for quite some time. That could be something there too. And then you go look at, again, you could have Cody Roman 3. So this is really hard for me, but I'm gonna go with Sami just because they're in Saudi, and I feel like they're gonna pull. They've been hyping this up. He can't win the big one. He can't win the big one. He can't win the big one. This is the best way he can win the big one, where he can beat the champion without beating the champion. So,
All right. So we've got Cody, Gunther, Sami. All right. So let's see what AI's pick is here. AI is picking Cody Rhodes to retain. Gunther has a legitimate gripe, and Sami Zayn adds unpredictability, but the triple threat allows WWE to protect both challengers while keeping the title on Cody. Cody retaining also keeps the door open for the King of the Ring winner to step into a major SummerSlam direction. I do like the idea, though, if Sami were to win, that Sami could face Jey Uso in a match that I don't believe we ever got really that match after Sami left. I don't remember, because it's been like 3 years since that happened. But it was, I believe Sami went right after Roman and then lost, and then it was a tag team match at WrestleMania with Sami and Kevin versus the Usos. So, in which we were there for, Seth.
Yeah.
So, I don't recall ever really a legitimate one-on-one with Sami and Jey. So, could be a very interesting way to go. Let's jump into the poll here, because it doesn't look like we're going to get much of a change on the poll unless we get a ton of people jumping in and voting right away.
Did I win?
But it looks like Cody Rhodes
I lost again.
is going to take the poll. But here's what I'm going to do, guys.
polls.
We only have a few votes on this one. I'm going to give some people an opportunity to make some votes here. So we're not going to call the poll until the very end of the show. All right? So my vote for this one
Gunther
is, this is where
rock paper scissors.
my bias comes in. I am a Cody Rhodes fan. I don't like ever betting against Cody. I'm a big fan of Cody. I've got his LJN figure over here. I really do. I really do like Cody. In fact, when I get my sleeves done for my arms, the tattoo sleeves, one of those that'll be woven in there is going to be the American Nightmare symbol, the American Nightmare logo. So when you guys finally see my arms covered, you will see the American Nightmare logo in there. I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan. So I'm voting for Cody, because whenever Cody's involved, I'm voting with my heart. So I'm voting Cody Rhodes, plain and simple. That's just it. So, all right, let's let everybody kind of give their final thoughts here. They can plug whatever they want to plug. Seth, don't take off yet.
I'm not.
All right,
I'm just taking off the headphones.
But Seth, you're newly 18. Is there anything you've got going on you want to let the Sims Nation know about?
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed?
Nothing changed.
All right, George, how about you? Some final words for our viewers and our listeners before we say goodbye.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in taking a DDPY class, hit me up on Zoom, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. We'll set something up, get you a good one-on-one, or we can come in person and I can hit you there if you're somewhere near Spring Lake, North Carolina. So let me know, hit you guys up, and remember, own your life.
All right, and let's jump over to Chris Hall. Chris, my man, take it away.
Great segue into owning your life. I'm doing the exact same thing. I quit my job that I've had for the last 7 years, and I am taking on the venture to also become a certified personal trainer in not just TDPY, but also taking the official NASM certified personal trainer course. So you will see me out there hopefully soon as a trainer and fast track coach. Those are all going to be great things for me. But other than things to plug, I got my Warrior Unleashed teddy bear right here. I brought over for the camera.
Beautiful.
And then also, guys, no joke, go get yourself hardback cover of Vengeance. It is amazing read. I can't wait to get the second one. And then, just do your DDPY every day. And like Judge Fenmore said, own your life. Bang.
All right, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we got to give it up for Benny the Jet Scala. He's got some of those entertaining shows. He's on other people's shows like ours. He is, like me, the hardest working man not in show business. So, ladies and gentlemen, take it away, Benny the Jet. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, Monday night will be episode number 99 of True Crime with the Bad Girls of Playa and Dangerous Day. We're going to talk about what happened to Marilyn Monroe. Did she really commit suicide? What happened there? Were there shenanigans? Wednesday night, When It Was Real with Nikita Brashnikov, we look at the WWF in the 1970s. I do a show called The Morning Slam Session with Joe Larry, which can be seen on his Ringside with What a Day Joe Larry channel every Friday at 10. And, of course, this fantastic show every Saturday. Now, I am not a certified DDPY instructor. I am, however, a former certified personal trainer, but I have been doing DDPY for about 8 years, since 2018. And I can tell anybody out there, I mean, I've been lifting weights since 1988. But DDPY is absolutely life-changing. If you haven't looked into it, don't even waste another minute. Do it today.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been a great show. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to be here with you guys, and I want to say one big thank you. And so, first of all, let me end the poll, and it's no surprise. Cody Rhodes wins on our live chat poll. I know that Eric Porter says he voted for Sami, but the poll was not popping up on his screen, but that wouldn't have changed the outcome. Cody Rhodes takes it. So we have all of our predictions in place. So before we go, let me just remind you guys, first of all, my thank yous. Thank you to everyone listening on WANT Radio. I very much appreciate it. And if you guys want to listen to WANT Radio, it is available 24/7 at WANTradio.com or via the Live 365 app. Just download it and search up WANT Radio. And also to all of you joining us on YouTube, a big, huge thank you. We're at almost 300 people who tuned in and jumped in. I very much appreciate it for this Night of Champions preview show. The show starts in about an hour, and then don't forget to come back here immediately following the show so that you can join me for our Night of Champions reaction show. Those are always have a lot of fun. They're always a little confrontational from time to time and a little bit of hectic chaos. So don't miss out. And then lastly, I want to say a big thank you to all of my guests today, to Seth Sims, who actually did his homework, and I very much appreciate when he does, because you can always tell when Seth is on it, and he was on it today. I want to thank George Fenmore, my dear close personal friend, George Fenmore. I want to thank Chris Hall, and I want to send a big thank you. I'm not saying anybody's better than anybody else. I just want to send a big thank you to Benny Scala right now, because Benny has been very much there for me for a while now, and especially over the last couple of weeks that have been very much, like I said, a struggle for me. And when you have someone in your life that's very much there for you, that listens to you and lets you vent and get things out, it means the world to you. So, Benny, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and I'm very proud to have you on this show. So before we get going, you guys know what we say. We close out the show the same way every time. Sims Nation, enjoy Night of Champions. Come back after, and then you can take it easy. And if it's easy, take it twice. So long, everybody. Grandmaster, I'll look for your picks in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on our Night of Champions reaction show. So long, everybody.
The lights are dim, but the room still hums with the echoes of laughter and the moments we spun. Every honest word is like a stone